If you want to develop self-discipline, Stoicism can be a valuable way to help you in this process. Marcus Aurelius, recognized as the last of the 5 good emperors, found time during his reign to create a series of autobiographical writings, now known as the Meditations. In these writings, Marcus Aurelius shared valuable lessons on developing self-discipline. In this video, we'll present the 12 most important principles for building self-discipline. 1. Find your purpose. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, "I'm awakened to the work of a human being. Why then am I troubled by the fact that I must do what I was created for, the things I was put in this world for, or was I made to hide under the covers and keep warm so pleasurable?" In other words, were you made for pleasure? In short, to be pampered or to work hard? Marcus Aurelius believed that each of us has a purpose, something we were created for, and it's our duty to fulfill it, because that's what gets us out of bed every morning. If you have a clear understanding of your goals and how your daily tasks fit into them, it's very likely that you'll be able to complete them. For example, if you have a flat tire and need to change it, your purpose is clear. Change the tire as quickly as possible so you can get on your way. You'll do it, no matter how tired you feel. The greatest source of self-discipline is having a reason for doing the task. If you don't know what to do, just start. If you want to be a writer, write every day. If you want to be an artist, draw and create every day. Anything you want to do doesn't need any more motivation, research, or advice. You just need to start practicing every day and face the difficulties as they arise, because your purpose will give you the strength, drive, and motivation to move forward towards your goal. 2. Treat your body rigorously. Marcus Aurelius said, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing." In this statement, he means that life has a weight, and we must always lift it. This brings to mind the discipline linked between body and mind that we must have. Seneca says that we should treat the body rigorously so that it doesn't disobey the mind. In the past, philosophers were warriors, fighters, runners, and hunters. That's why, if we read the metaphors that the Stoics use, they are mostly sporting, because they understood that treating the body rigorously brings self-discipline. That's why we see the statues of the philosophers strong and defined. They didn't despise the body. Hard things are good for you and good for your mind. It's like you're reminding your body who's in charge. That's what physical practice is. It's the mind taking over the body. We tend to think that philosophers are that kind of soft person, but actually, mental practice, mental resilience, being in charge of yourself, is the ultimate muscle you want to cultivate. As Socrates said, "It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable." And that's what every great Stoic cultivated. 3. Ignore the pessimists. Marcus Aurelius says, "When someone blames you or hates you, or people express similar criticisms, go to their souls, penetrate inside and see what kind of people they are. You'll realize that there's no need to be tortured with anxiety, that they have any particular opinion of you." Whenever you start to act and declare, even if only to yourself, that you believe you have a special purpose in life and that you will do whatever it takes to achieve it, you will attract pessimists. Pessimists are people who criticize, object, or oppose something. Pessimists love to say no and put you down. They may love you, but they're afraid of progress, so they're against everything, and their opinions are cruel. You need to realize and understand that getting upset about the opinion of someone you don't know is as silly as getting upset about the weather. It's a waste of energy. Don't waste your time because their voice doesn't deserve to be heard. You should actively seek honest feedback from those you respect, but who are not known as pessimists. 4. Practice voluntary discomfort. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, we must discipline ourselves in the little things and from there progress to things of greater value. Voluntary suffering is one of the ways in which we can build our self-discipline and value what we have. Try taking a cold shower or going for a walk when you could use the car. That way, you'll understand how valuable what you have is and how it goes unnoticed every day. If you like this content, don't forget to like it. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any life-changing knowledge. 5. Learn how to delay gratification. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, "So you were born to feel comfortable instead of doing things and experiencing them. You don't see the plants, the birds, the ants, the spiders, and the bees carrying out their individual tasks, putting the world in order as best they can, and you're not willing to do your job as a human being because you're not rushing to do what your nature demands." Deferred gratification involves the ability to wait to get what you want. For example, imagine yourself at a party with lots of food and drink while you're trying to lose weight. If you give in and fill your plate with fattening treats, it may hinder your diet. but you'll be able to enjoy a bit of instant reward. If you manage to resist and spend the evening eating salad and drinking water, then you'll be rewarded in the future by shedding those unwanted pounds. This ability to resist temptation and stick to our goals is called self-discipline. Staying focused on your goal, regardless of the situation or environment, is a central part of this behavior. You deprive yourself in the present in order to achieve something much better later. 6. Practice the dichotomy of control. Marco Aurelius says, "You have power over your mind, not over external events. Realize this and you will find strength." Getting distressed, getting anxious about small things is detrimental to discipline. You have a goal, you're working with focus, and then doubts, negative thoughts, and anxiety arise. Worries about what may or may not happen are out of your control and paralyze you. The best thing you can do is apply what you can. Some things are within our control and others are not. By embracing and accepting what is out of your control, you can experience peace of mind. When you feel distressed and distracted, remember the following. Do you have a problem in your life? If the answer is no, then there's no need to worry. If the answer is yes, ask yourself, can you do something about it? If you can, there's no need to worry because you have the power to act. If you can't do anything about it again, there's no need to worry because it's out of your control. 7. Don't be a victimizer. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, do your job without complaining. Have you ever said any of these? I was born this way. I never learned anything different. My parents set a bad example. Everyone does it. These are excuses people use to justify staying the way they are, instead of making an effort to become better. You need to take responsibility and ask yourself, why me? A victim mentality is the enemy of mental strength. You may not be to blame, but your life depends on you determining what is in your control and taking responsibility for it, rather than resorting to self-pity. You must train yourself to take responsibility for your life. It's easier to blame others when something goes wrong or when you don't know what to do, but only those with mental strength are able to take responsibility even when it's not their fault, and right the ship. Be that person who steps in to take action, who solves problems, and not that person who looks around looking for someone to blame. When you victimize yourself, you give up control and absolve yourself of personal responsibility. And without responsibility, progressing and becoming a better person becomes an impossible task. Now, if you feel like you're having too many things to deal with and you can't, that's not the victimhood in your mind, but rather the anxiety that feeds on your thoughts and leaves you stagnant on your journey. To deal with anxiety, Marcus Aurelius has a very good teaching that has helped him master this negative emotion. To get rid of anxiety, I've left a link in the first comment to learn how Marcus Aurelius used to get rid of this anguish. Take a look. 8. Find convincing reasons to do something and then commit to it until you achieve it. Count on yourself. According to Marco Aurelius, you must turn your desire into stone, quench your desires, and keep your mind centered on yourself. Once you have a solid purpose, it's time to build a practical action plan to help you achieve your goal. You must not only commit to your goals, but also commit to all the small actions you will take along the way in pursuit of those goals. We must be totally committed to doing whatever it takes to get the job done, regardless of the challenges that arise. Self-discipline is the ability to act, to do what you need to do regardless of your physical, mental, or emotional state. Everything you want to have, be, and do depends on your ability to take the necessary actions to achieve your goals. Whether you like it or not, you can start by making an effective action plan that includes a deadline for achieving a goal. It should also be built on the foundation of mini-goals that break down your objective into manageable parts. Mini-goals will ensure that you are working towards your desired outcome in small chunks and blocks of time. This prevents you from feeling discouraged and lacking progress. Working without any results can lead to the trap of procrastination and then stagnation. 9. Find wise people to draw inspiration from. Marcus Aurelius says, socialize with men of good character in order to model your life on theirs, whether you choose someone living or someone from the past. Look outwards for answers to help strengthen your self-discipline. Specifically, let's identify role models. Your role models can be your friends, family, colleagues who have already achieved the goal you are working towards. Ask yourself, who is doing this now? Who has successfully achieved this goal? Who has successfully mastered this habit? Who has successfully made this change? Who has the necessary self-discipline in this area? What can I learn from this person that can help me on my journey? Ask these people how they disciplined themselves. Ask what specific actions they followed to the result they have today. Use their experience to help you discipline yourself throughout your own growth. 10. Maintain constancy. Marco Aurelius says, "You must build your life action by action and be happy if each one achieves its goal as far as possible, and no one can stop you from doing so." Even if we have a solid purpose and a practical plan, 95% of us fail to achieve our goals. We fail because we haven't managed to be consistent. We haven't learned to maintain constancy. We need to do it every day. The simple fact that you do it every day builds mental stamina, develops your focus and understanding of the process needed to achieve something great. You have to plant before you can harvest. Self-discipline is nothing more than the habit of consistency, finding the motivation to do something again and again until you're on autopilot and start to see results. So even if you fail once, for example, if you didn't exercise when you knew you should, that doesn't define who you are. Your ability to keep going is what makes you a disciplined and strong person. A bad day doesn't have to turn into a bad week, and a bad week doesn't have to turn into a bad year. The moment you wake up, remember that the new day is a new life and move on, focusing on what's in front of you, which is life itself. 11. Have very high standards. Marcus Aurelius says, "Strict with yourself and tolerant with others." But you need to understand that this is called self-discipline for a reason. That is, it has to do with you. You can't impose it on other people. Cato says, "I can forgive anyone's mistakes but my own," which means that you leave other people to their own mistakes. You're tolerant, forgiving. You understand the whole context behind it. That's why you're not hard on them, but on yourself. That's why you don't accept excuses. That's why you maintain higher and higher standards, because that's the only thing you control. You'll drive yourself crazy if you try to impose these standards, this self-discipline, on the other people around you, because they never asked you to. They may not even agree with your standards, even if they can achieve them. But the point is to have really high standards for yourself, to be tolerant, forgiving, understanding, and helpful to others. 12. Be honest with yourself. Review your day honestly. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, these are the characteristics of the rational soul: self-awareness, self-examination, and self-determination. He reaps his own harvest. One of the best ways to become more disciplined is to examine yourself and find your weak points. Be brutally honest and use this time to connect with your subconscious. Before going to sleep, think about your day and your actions. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where were my self-discipline and self-control tested? Where was I assertive? What did I do wrong? Why did that happen? And furthermore, how can I improve? Now you know how you can improve tomorrow, but don't blame yourself. Be compassionate and forgive yourself. Self-compassion means forgiving yourself and not blaming yourself, which helps to avoid procrastination. Don't just be critical of yourself. Think about what you did well so that you can do it again tomorrow and be grateful for the good that happened today. This makes you think about how much you can review your attitudes and how to improve them, causing a sense of clarity and relief. The Stoics didn't just do this to review what was good, but also what they did wrong and how to get around it. They knew that there are bad habits too, preventing them from living a life of virtue and wisdom. Click on the video on the screen and see right now what these harmful anti-Stoic habits were.